That the solution to the Riddle of Steel is a strong will is further proven in the scene in which Conan finally confronts Thulsa Doom. The challenge here is not a fight, but a contest of wills. He might have tried to kill Doom at any moment, but he didn't. He sneaked up on him and waited for him to notice him. If Conan didn't have his newfound willpower, he would have been lost right there and then. He either would have been killed by Doom or his followers, the way his mother died, or he might have become one of his servants like Thorgrim and Rexer. But there is another detail that shows us just how strong his will has become now. He uses the broken sword of his father, with which his mother was killed. Why does he use that instead of the Atlantean sword? Of course, one explanation would be that this brings the theme of revenge full circle, especially because Doom is beheaded with the same sword as his mother was. But there is more to it. Conan's will has become so strong now that he can use a sword that has become useless to all purposes as the instrument of his revenge. It is like the old saying, in the hands of a true warrior anything becomes a weapon. Unless you are Chuck Norris, then you become the weapon. Let us briefly talk about how the music accompanies and underlines Conan's quest for the Riddle of Steel by examining what I call the emotional part of Conan's theme. The first time we hear it is at the beginning of the movie. Here, mostly strings are used, probably to portray Conan in a soft light, because he is still a child and only at the beginning towards his path to wisdom. The drums and brass are silent or almost silent during this part of the music. We hear it again during the Atlantean sword scene, and the love scene. A more prominent shift towards the flute and an oboe has occurred now, and the theme still sounds comparatively soft. The next time is during the second kata. The theme sounds more ethereal, to which the voices in the background make a big contribution. We can hear an oboe and a trumpet. The trumpet is especially important because it is a brass instrument and marks Conan's progress towards the Riddle of Steel. It sounds like an enlightened version of the main theme and underlines Conan's wiser self in that scene. And sorry if it bothers you, but I just love this version of the theme. It is also the scene which inspired me to do this analysis. We hear it for the last time when he kills Rexer. The theme is played with only brass and drums. It is now completely in tune with the rest of the movie's opening theme and signals that Conan has steeled himself, body and soul. I think I already told you that the music is a masterpiece, and this was one of the reasons. That Conan had to learn that he first and foremost needed a strong will to achieve his goals makes sense for a few reasons. We know right from the start that Conan is destined to become the king of Aquilonia. Even if the witch in the tent didn't tell him so, we would automatically assume that he will have to conquer that position, since he isn't an heir to any throne, and you will never become the most powerful man in the kingdom by luck or the goodwill of the people, if you haven't demonstrated your abilities, will to power, and seized all opportunities to advance, and all of this against the hardest opposition imaginable. Another reason that Conan must learn this lesson is hidden in the meaning of his name. In the Celtic language it means high and wise. And I think wisdom is generally understood as something that you gradually acquire through life experience. And this fits perfectly with how Conan is often portrayed in the movie. There are many scenes in which we see him listening without talking. We also often see him thinking about what has recently happened, often leading to new insights for him, like the words of his father, Thulsa Doom, after Valeria's cremation and return, when he has killed Thulsa Doom, and as a king on the throne. Maybe you think now that Conan isn't a very intelligent character if he can't figure this out on his own, but remember this. He spent at least 1 decade as a slave, during which time his personal development was completely brought to a halt. Yes, he was given the opportunity to read about philosophy and such things, but does that really substitute the real life experience? I don't think so. At best it would make him a sage in an ivory tower. Let me grab this opportunity to give some praise to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who has often been criticized for his acting abilities. Given the source material and the intentions of the director, I think that he did a very good job at portraying this stoic and pensive character. Yes, some of his deliveries sound a bit off, but that doesn't matter so much, I think, because his part mostly requires physical expressions, and as a former bodybuilder he has experience with such things. Also keep in mind that he has an open and extroverted personality in real life, and that he shows few if any of his later mannerisms in this movie. I think Arnold can be quite effective when he is given the right material and working with directors like John Milius, James Cameron and John McTiernan, who know how to guide him.